Some kids get to grow up and just be kids, and then some of us have to grow up and grow up a little bit too quickly. So when I'm making this documentary, I'm like, if I'm going to tell a story, I can't think of a better story to tell than of home.
Right.
Because you might as well start from where you began and then reach out to places and other experiences. All right, we can see.
Okay. And do I just hold this, or should I just?
Yeah. We're going to mic you up.
Gonna wear a wire?
Yeah. Living in a building where you're like amongst a bunch of other people, do you think that there's just some things that you see that you've normalized, but maybe if you lived in a different area, it would be different?
Sometimes you're coming out, you see a couple buckets on the staircase doing the thing. Like, oh shit, my bad, I didn't mean to interrupt, you know? You don't really get taken off guard by it. You might get frightened a little bit, depending on the scenario, but shit, it's just life here. The majority of the people here are just sick, and that's all it is. Crack, or drugs in general, have destroyed a lot of potential in a lot of the people here. Some people were on the way of getting their shit together and doing the right thing and looking out for the people around them, and unfortunately, they had a mishap. It's terrible because you see that spiral, you see them go down a path of destruction. If your parent is on it or if your guardian is on it, it completely changes them. You don't have a parent anymore. What you have now is a stranger that only cares about one thing only. And so that damages the relationship you have with them.
Do you think you see things that you're like, oh, okay, but it's actually not okay?
Yeah, some of the kids here, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, sometimes they find things here and they're just like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just play with this for now. I don't know. And then, they don't really look at it like, okay, this is actually bad. You can't be finding guns and running around with it. You need to put that shit down. You can't find needles, start playing with it. You need to put that shit down.
It's intergenerational too. That's the thing. Like, once it becomes pervasive in one generation, it's only natural for the next generation. Like, they're going to be influenced, and they're probably going to end up doing drugs at one point, if not like dealing or whatever, to make ends meet.
The mentality here is, oh, I'm never going to make it out. You're never going to get out of here. You're going to live here for your whole life. And for some people, that's the truth. You don't make it out. You just stay here and you're trapped here. Either that or, the other two options. You get involved in the streets and you survive off the streets. And unfortunately, you don't live long in the streets. That's how it is.
Why is there such a poor relationship between some of the teachers and the students? And like, instead of being like, how can I help you? They're more just like, how can I contain you? How can I tame you like a wild animal?
Some of these kids are really hurt, You're not going to fix it by punishing them. That mentality becomes, okay, well, if they're saying there's something wrong with me, they're treating like something's wrong with me, maybe there really is something wrong with me. I'm just a bad kid. Why don't I just, well, screw it, I'm going to become a bad kid. That's how you create bad kids. Some of these kids here, they're going through that pain and they're just misunderstood. So my role here is I try looking out for those guys, and try leading them, giving that guidance they need.
I've heard so many stories in Scarborough Town Center where like young boys and girls of color are just like harassed by police officers for literally next to no reason. And then you carry on those feelings with you in your neighborhood where there's constantly a presence of police officers.
I've been into the mall. Police follow me all around the mall because they assume, oh, I'm up to no good, whatever, because of the way I look. But again, with the whole mentality thing, to some of us, that's just how it is and it's not going to change. So some of us just breeze, let it off, and do nothing about it.
Right. Do you think they're helpful?
I mean, look, people like me and you, coloreds, you know what I'm saying? We can't look at them the same way other people look at them because they deadass treat us differently. So how am I going to look at you a certain way when you're giving me a different type of respect than someone else, right? Yeah. Based on our color, which is ignorant as hell. They be petty as hell, though. Sometimes, let's say firecrackers going off, they'll go after kids, just handcuff them and tell them, treat them like the kids.
I'm like handcuffing a child.
Bro, the nigga's 9, bro.
Our neighborhood, in the media, there's always a stigma. So when it comes to the media and they're saying, oh, this always happens, there's always a focus on the negative and never what's really good and what's happening in a neighborhood. They don't see like, oh, people are providing food or someone's babysitting like 6 kids for other mothers. But they'll always highlight something else.
But Scarborough in general, I feel like has this general like negative image. Yeah, we'll joke about it and we'll be like, haha, don't tell them you're from Scarborough if we go to another school. But it's like, it's so sad that we have to think that at all.
The area is not that bad, to be honest. It's not like, oh, we got shootouts here every day and, you know, people dying, dropping left and right. I know, it's crazy. It's just because it's the projects, you know? They get that reputation.
Yeah, and it's not like we're sitting here, like, we want to exist in these problems. Like, we want help, we want opportunities. It's not our fault that people won't give it to us. Like, it's a community at the end of the day. Like, no matter what problems we deal with, it's home.
Like, this neighborhood has a lot of people who are of value, right? And they have just as much capability to grow and to impact positively, like not just the Scarborough, not just their block, not just the street, but also Toronto and around the world.
I once knew someone. I always count on them. And when they fell back onto their substance, it was hard to watch because you're seeing someone, right? And they're constantly in pain. They don't know what's going on. Yeah. They're losing their mind. When she passed, right, it was very quick, like her transition from good to bad. It was just a short thing, man. And I mean, seeing it happen, seeing when she dropped, I wouldn't say I'm scarred or whatever, but it's just some shit I won't forget. I would come by here and every week or so, I'd notice there'd be like new little trinkets and little memorial stuff here. Like it would grow and then it just went away, but yeah.
You're what, 19 now? I think that happened when we were...
I was like 14.
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar just dropped his album. She used to pick me up after school. I'll be listening to it with her. Even to this day, sometimes we'd be doing some shit and I'll be like, Mom, if so-and-so were here, this is a perfect time where she would come in and help us out, you know? The majority of my memories and like a lot of the relationships I have stems from just coming from here, you know? So I still come outside every once in a while. I still interact with everyone. But if you look like right ahead of us, there's Camp Hope. And so they really helped me mature and sort of find myself spiritually a little bit. And a lot of our memories was just here, like literally just right here. Like they'd come out and then we'd have like soccer games right here, or they'll take us into the field. I know last summer when I was working there, we because of the whole Corona thing, there wasn't too much we could do in terms of trips or whatever.
Yeah.
So we really bonded with the kids a lot more, and a lot of that was happening right here. I used to sneak out and come down here. I used to play with my friends over here. I used to have blisters and shit on my feet all the time.